Hey, how's it going, cigar brethren? This is your cigar brother Jeff coming back at you from the great state of Texas, and again we've got another interesting cigar for you today. This one is a pretty interesting little smoke called the Leaf by Oscar. The story behind this thing is a guy by the name of Island Jim, who's the proprietor of a place called Club Leaf and Bean in the Strip District of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Got together with a feller by the name of Oscar. I can only guess to pronounce it as Valladres. Worked for Rocky Patel. They got together, and Oscar now has his own factory in Danlí, Honduras. And legend has it that one day Island Jim was in the factory doing whatever he does. After the end of the day, he decided to take a cigar for the road, and he couldn't find a piece of plastic or a bag or a cello anywhere to wrap this cigar in. And so what he did was he took a spare tobacco leaf, and what could be only described as a simple stroke of genius, he wrapped it in the tobacco leaf. The next day he went to unwrap it to smoke it and found that the cigar had a really interesting oily patina to it, more so than usual, observing that Mother Nature had kind of contributed some additional oils. Now you can find these at Island Jim's shop if you're in Pennsylvania, or maybe some select B&Ms. I found them online, Rodrigo Cigars. So tonight we're gonna give you a little bit of a look at them, and then we're gonna give you a review. Now these things, like I said, come wrapped in a natural tobacco leaf. So this is what they look like when they're wrapped in leaf. Okay, 360-degree view. And then here, I've already had one and took it out of the leaf, and this is an entire full tobacco leaf. It's pretty cool. You might want to throw it away, keep it for something. I keep them, and I just kind of store them in my humidor just to give a little extra something to the aging. Now, this is what's inside. Now, I think you can see by the light. Look how oily and shiny and beautiful this thing is. This is a Toro, and this is the Maduro edition. I don't know if you can see that. It says Leaf by Oscar on the band there. Beautiful cigar. Real nice construction. Minimal veins. Tight and visible seams. In the aroma, we have a slightly sweet tobacco, a little bit of hay, some dry cocoa. On the pre-light draw, a little bit of the same. Pretty much some real dry cocoa and a little bit of sweet hay. Alright, real good. So let's toast it up and get started. Now I got these things about a month ago. I had one almost right off the truck, and it started out pretty good, but then as I got closer to the halfway point, I realized that I should let them rest a little bit. It started to get kind of a little foul on me. I just didn't like the way it was tasting. Wasn't burning quite right, so I decided to give them a few more weeks. So here we are with number 2, and I decided I would do a review on this, and so we'll find out what that rest did to it. Okay, right off the bat, plenty of earthiness, a lot of earth there. A little bit of spice kicking up on the back of the tongue right there on the finish. And that's all I'm picking up right now. Let me take one more draw. And a little bit of that cocoa that I mentioned in the beginning. Okay, I got this thing going. I'm going to get into it a little ways, and then I'll get back to you and let you know what I've got. Alright, so here we are back again with just a little bit of update. You can see I'm about 15 minutes into it. It's pretty nice burn ash so far. I'm enjoying it so far. The draw was slightly firm there on the beginning, but it's kind of loosened up a little bit. It wasn't nothing off-putting or anything, you know, it was just slightly firm. That's all there is to it.
And Terrence Jones, there we go, bloody nose for Terrence Jones. So that will be an official timeout. While
so initially there I had some of that dry cocoa that I had mentioned, and the earth, and a little bit of leather with a slight coffee kind of on the finish there. And then in the last few draws, everything's kind of switched places. The cocoa was still there, but the coffee kind of took the forefront, along with the leather and a little bit of earth. And the first few draws there, like in my experience, most cigars, especially Maduro cigars that I have, there was that little spice kick on the back of the tongue. That has faded out and kind of gone away, where there's just no trace of it now.
Back out on the floor, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to get this taken care of. Now Jones is coming back to the bench.
And at this point, everything is pretty much the same. So I'm going to keep going, and I'll get back to you here in just a little bit. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm back with this leaf by Oscar. As you can see, still pretty nice burn. This ash is about ready to drop, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it before we have a mess. Okay, still enjoying this cigar. Not any changes as far as new flavors go. It's plenty of earth, coffee, leather. Shortly after I got there the last time, it was kind of the coffee on the draw with a leathery core and an earthy finish, and then it just seems like they switch places, you know, almost like a braid, you know. It's like they take turns as to who's on the forefront and who's in the core and who's in the finish. It's real nice. The smoke on this thing is slightly chewy, meaning when you take a draw on it, you know the smoke is there. It's got an oily mouthfeel to it, of course, because of that shiny, oily patina from the tobacco leaf wrapper that was in it. In the last few puffs, I've gotten just a little bit of a subtle hint of sweetness on the draw. And other than that, that is all I've got. I'm going to get into this thing a little bit further, and then I'll get back to you again. Alright, so here we are back again with this lovely leaf by Oscar. Still shiny as hell. Still burning like a champ. As you can see, burn still nice and even, almost razor sharp. I've had no complaints on that. Once again, we're going to get rid of the ash. This is the second ash. Nice. Okay, now, a lot of the flavors have stayed the same. Again, they have kind of swapped around. There's a few little notes that I had kick up, you know, just a draw or two, and then they disappeared. I had a slight floral note that came up when I was on the draw, when I was exhaling kind of through the nose. Not a retrohale, but through my nose. On my taste buds, I got kind of a slight floral note. And there for a minute, I thought I caught a little bit of a caramel note. Now, I know most of you say caramel, but we here in the South call it caramel. Just a little lesson in, you know, Southern vocabulary. The hay, a little bit of hay is kind of kicking up in here, and it was still, the sweetness is hanging around. This is a medium to full bodied, but a full flavored stick. A lot of reviewers will just say it's a medium to full body. You know, a lot of them won't emphasize on the flavor. I like to let my viewers know, few as they may be out there, the flavor itself too. You know, I want you to know the body, but also the flavor. Because medium to full body doesn't mean it's a medium to full, you know, flavor. So that's where we're at. Still a great smoke output. Nice aroma. No complaints so far. So I'm going to get on up to the band point of this thing, and I'll get back to you.